Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to my video. Today I want to talk about some trad nuns, and these are the Carmelites of Fairfield. I saw this article posted by LifeSite News. And the first thing I want to say, I visited this monastery. Well, it's a monastery under construction. I'll get to that in a little bit. I visited that a few years ago. They are a group based in Pennsylvania, and they are they were one of two trad Carmelite orders um, in the Diocese of Harrisburg. So this group from Fairfield and the group from Elysburg, which is north of Harrisburg, um, they merged, and so the group from Elysburg, which is north of Harrisburg, they moved to Fairfield just this past year. I think maybe it was April or March. I don't. I'm not entirely sure exactly which month, but it was not very long ago that where they moved to Fairfield to be in one community. Before that, there were two traditionalist orders in the Diocese of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and their sister organization was in Philadelphia. Their sister Carmelite monastery was in Philadelphia, and they actually ended up moving to Nebraska just recently as well because there was pressure from the diocese to change some of their processes and maybe force them to say the old mass. I don't know. But this monastery from Fairfield it is under construction. People can volunteer to help build it. They spend a week of their time, and it's being built from stone. And so when I went about 2 years ago, there was a temporary chapel, which I think is, I think it's still up, and it was a very small building. It was made of stone, and inside there were like a number of things made of wood. And the altar was this really nice. I believe it was like a marble altar, but it was very small. And the nuns sat on the top, and so there was like two levels. There was like a balcony type of level where they could have a view of the altar, but the lay people went in the bottom, and there were two rows of benches, wooden benches, no backs to the benches. So it was a very small temporary chapel. Hopefully their monastery will be a lot larger whenever they do decide to build it. So the bishop is Bishop Gaynor, and we'll get to this in a minute. But it was announced. LifeSite News posted this on Thursday, September 23rd, that the Apostolic Visitation, will take place starting today, September 25th through the 28th. And the Carmelites sent out a press release. I'm going to read it later. And there's a hermit that serves this monastery. His name is Father Maximilian Mary Dean, who had earlier been a Franciscan friar of the Immaculate. And so they had their own problems in the Franciscan Friars of the Immaculate, where there were a group of traditionalists who were saying the Latin Mass, and some of the more modernist Franciscans hated it, and so they snitched to Rome. Rome had an apostolic visitation. What do you know? And Pope Francis determined that they can only say the new Mass. So very much accompanying them on their faith journey. But this group purchased their land. This Carmelite group purchased their land in 2013, and the local Bishop Gaynor approved it. Now Bishop Gaynor is going to be. I don't know if he'll be monitoring the situation. I would imagine he'll be monitoring this apostolic visitation, but the problem with that, he also is going to be speaking at the Pennsylvania March for Life on Monday, September 27th. So if any of you are in that region, definitely consider attending that March for Life. I think it's going to be pretty good. Now, I'm not going to be able to make it, but if you can, certainly go ahead. Um, so, and when during the apostolic visitations, I don't know if it's exclusively declared by the Vatican or if orders can declare their own apostolic visitations or what. But the Vatican can sometimes send their thugs in to do this apostolic visitation. I don't know who's going to show up there, but the Carmelites, here's what they said. They said, "This coming weekend we ask you to pray in a special way for our nuns. More than ever before, they are in need of your love and your support." In August, they received the news that they would be subject to an apostolic visitation, and the dates are September 25th through the 28th. The visitation consists of interviews of each sister and detailed scrutiny of the nun's daily life. It includes an evaluation of their application of the Carmelite charism and their monastic customs. It is for this reason we are asking your prayerful support as they undergo this difficult and stressful trial. We pray that the nuns may quickly return to their quiet monastic observance. If you are able, would you join us for a prayer vigil at their property from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. beginning Saturday and ending Tuesday? All our friends are welcome to stop by and say a rosary or just a few prayers at the gates or in the cemetery. Your presence and support will be felt deeply by the nuns. They will be eternally grateful. On September 29th, the chapel will reopen at 9 a.m. for a glorious solemn high mass. Mass will once again be open to the public after that date. So, what does it say? Stressful. Yeah, it's difficult and stressful trial. Um, I would imagine, that some apostolic visitations are more like uh, a consultant, inviting a consultant into a business and having them take a look at how the business runs and see what's efficient, what's not. And as consultants usually go, they're extremely expensive and people end up usually getting fired. That's been my experience. And it's up in the air whether or not consultants are actually effective. If your business is extremely inefficient, then yeah, consultants would be effective. But if you're running your business efficiently, then they're probably just going to fire someone to reduce the cost, to reduce the expenses of the business. That's how you reduce expenses, is by getting rid of an employee. But in the Vatican, in the Catholic terms, if you have someone come in and take a look and read the constitution of the organization of the monastery and just see how that's being applied, and see what, if there's anything that they could maybe do a little bit differently to maybe make the spiritual lives a little bit better, improve the situation, that would be certainly welcome. However, this to me seems more like an investigation, or an inquiry, inquisition. I don't know. More like an investigation into the order to see if they're in line with the ideals of Vatican II. Which, if they're traditionalists, um, probably not. They're probably not in line with the Vatican's ideals. So this is something that I believe most of the traditionalist orders are going to see something similar to this coming up very soon. And hopefully everyone has a game plan in place. It says that the nuns own the property. So if the Vatican, you know, removes their canonical status, which, I mean, I'm not sure if they have. I think they have a canonical status. If the Vatican basically, you know, tries to force them to do anything, they could stay there and just say sorry, and then it's up to the bishop to determine what he wants to do. But the bishop certainly has authority over this, um, over this order. He certainly has authority over this group, and Bishop Gaynor has been very friendly to the Latin Mass, and so I don't think he's going to take any garbage from Rome if Rome tries to do anything crazy. But this is something that, as traditionalists, we're going to be dealing with, in the upcoming months and maybe years. I don't know. But certainly in the upcoming months, we're going to face all of this pressure. The traditionalist groups, Ecclesia Dei groups, FSSP, Institute of Christ the King, they're going to face this pressure. And so we need to come up with game plans. Do you have private chapels? I'm going to talk about, I have some stuff on the list to talk about in future videos, but do you have game plans for if your FSSP or Institute church gets shut down? That's really sad to think about. I hope that it doesn't. But what if it does? What are you going to do? So that's all I have today. Pray for these nuns that the apostolic visitation won't be horrible. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.